Hello everyone. So I figured we were well overdue for a prep and physique update. So let's just get into it. So I know I haven't really done any since before my first show of the season, but we were kind of in a recomp phase, and honestly, until this past week, I had just been traveling nonstop. So pretty much from the time I competed, I had to travel out to my show. Since I live in West Virginia, there's not really any shows out here. I had to travel into that, and then the end of the week after, I had work travel to North Carolina. Then the week after, I had work travel to Texas, and then I had to travel to Texas for personal reasons shortly thereafter. So I've been on the road and adjusting to that weird in-between time of post-show before we wind me back down for my upcoming pro qualifier. So in this time, honestly, there wasn't a lot of changes. Nelson gave me a little bit of cardio, literally tiniest bit. I was doing 3x20 immediately post-show, and that was it. My food was kind of similar to where I was at. I wouldn't say carb cycling, but I had a training day and a non-training day food plan. So pretty simple, ran that through, really good recomp. So let's reiterate. So these were my stage photos, and then this is what I was looking like right post-show, probably like a week post-show. We'll do that. At that point, we focused on recomping, really pushed training as much as we could given all of the circumstances, everything, all that fun stuff. And so let me put up from last week, that was post-training with a pump, some photos. I wouldn't say I put on size, but where I have previously trained and had more muscularity before, we brought some of that back. It's really hard to lose muscle is one of the things I think a lot of people downplay. Can get into that another time on things that'll expedite that. But if you're not doing anything insane, losing muscle is really hard even if you're untrained for a bit. So really focusing on getting that muscularity back that I had, that was a big focus. Did pretty well on that. I think I'm really happy with what we've done in the past 6 weeks that we've been working together. And then let's put up my check-ins from this week. So, a little flat to be expected. Good news, I got my period. Normally when I'm at this weight or this close to a show, I wouldn't. That's the nice thing about Fit Model, even though my conditioning is pretty up there where it used to be, I feel healthier. It's weird. My protocol to look like this right now is nothing near what it was when I was competing in bikini. So it's kind of another indicator by still having hormonal function and having the wonderful blessing of a period coming that I am still healthy and I'm in a good spot. So that's what's going on right now. It's a good sign. My food got dropped slightly about 2 weeks ago, to be expected, winding me back down to really bring everything out. Unsure. I have a feeling we're probably, I don't know, I'm crossing fingers. I want to push a little harder, but I feel like that's what we're going to do, deplete me down a little further, and then we'll fill me out right before the show. More updates going into my next show. I have a new suit. I worked with Rosie at Surreal Suits because, honestly, I wasn't super thrilled with any of my suits that I had. I just feel like they didn't flatter me. It took a little bit to get the right coverage, and so I just didn't feel authentic or happy in what I had for wearing on stage. And going into a pro qualifying show or a national level event, I really want to feel confident in what I'm wearing. So I worked with Rosie. I showed her, I have currently, with this suit, I think 5 or 6 Fit Model suits. Don't ask. One I can't wear on stage. It's way too small. That's the one I use for check-ins. But I've been through a lot of suits trying to figure out what I like or what fits or what flatters. But Rosie worked with me really, really closely. We took a lot of measurements, fully personalized, made sure the fit was custom tailored to me, and I am super thrilled with it. I like that it's a modest coverage, but it's still enhances my glutes. And the color I love. I'm not going to say more because it's going to give it away what it is, but I'm super pleased with it. So I was really thankful that I took the leap and made a suit with Rosie, because I feel very secure knowing that this suit was made for me and not just thrown out there, because I feel with the fit model suits where, depending on if your glutes project more or your hips are wider or narrower or any sort of combination of things, that's going to impact your suit fit a lot. So happy about that. That's one big change that's going into my next show. Other changes, I've slightly tweaked my posing, not a lot. It's one of the things as we see more and more of these fit model ladies come out. Everyone's posing a bit different. I see some similarities. I don't on others. I'm going for shape, which is always what's been emphasized. Nothing insane on shape, because I know how I used to pose for bikini. I can pull lats if I want. So I'm slightly tweaking my posing. Routine wise, I was going to add certain things. I'm in between on it. We'll keep you posted on that on the other social medias whenever I put up a routine, etc. But for now, I'm going to keep it pretty simple. I'm just going to play by the rules. Leave it at that. That's my recommendation. Don't go crazy. The judges have been pretty explicit. No transitions, simple routines, front, back, front. That's it. So, other than that, going into Junior USA's, which is my next show, May 30th. I'll have my coach there. Kind of cool. I've not had a coach at a show with me since my first competition in 2018, except for when I coached myself, but that doesn't count. So I'm kind of excited for that. I think it'll be, I don't know, it'll be cool. It'll be different that I actually have to see someone in person for check-ins. I've not done that in forever. So, I don't know. That'll be fun. I should have teammates there, so I'll have friends backstage. And I'll know other people competing. So I'm pretty pumped. I'm pretty excited. My headspace going in is honestly in a really good spot. Knock on wood. Some of the doubts and worries that I had going before my last show, I've kind of just eased. At this point, you know, going in a national level show, I think a good thing for a first-time national level competitor, which I've told my ladies that have competed, is go in with no expectations. See where the cards fall. See where you stack up. Because when you compete at the regional level, you don't know who's going to show up. You don't. So when you don't know who's going to show up, you might be the best physique consistently because you have enough muscularity or you come in condition, because there is no barrier to entry at the regional level, which is why I tell ladies, you know, we need to be kind when people jump in their first show. Anyone can do it. The national level and above is where you have to qualify to go to the national level, aka pro qualifiers in other countries, different names, etc. So when you go to a pro qualifier, you're up against ladies that have met that threshold and that are trying to hit the next level. You can see where you actually stack up a bit better, because I've been in shows where there's only 3 girls in my head class. I've been in regional shows where I've had 16 girls in my head class. It impacts things a lot. If you have a small turnout, it's very hard to know where you sit, or if the turnout is not as competitive as other regions. You know, you hear like the Floridas, the Texases, California. Those areas are known to have a lot of bodybuilders. So going into my first national level show, at first I had a little bit of nerves, and then talking with Nelson and seeing what we've done, I've been at ease. It's very weird. It's very different. Obviously, show day I'll probably have some nerves still, but I'm going in knowing it's a new division, do my best, get feedback, see where I stack. That's all you can do at the end of the day. You can't control the outcomes. You can't control who's going to be there. You can control how you feel, your opposing, and your mindset. That's it. Your body to an extent, yeah, but it's going to do what it's going to do at the end of the day. People that have prepped for long periods of time or had difficult preps know sometimes your body will fight you at certain points. You can only control so much. And the best thing you can do is to come to terms with that and just relax and enjoy the day. So that's my thought going in. We have plans depending on whatever the outcome is, regardless. So that's one thing that can also put you at ease, is not to say, oh, I have a backup plan, I'm not going to do my best, etc. But you have to be a planner and flexible. That's kind of what Nelson said. He's like, you need to be a planner, but be flexible to changing. You can't be so rigid in your plans that if something goes wrong, it derails you completely. But you need to be willing and able to make plans. So I feel good knowing what the future may hold or entail. But I'm excited to see what the next little bit is going to be like. So thank you guys for sticking along and watching. I will continue to share this with you all and keep you posted on how prep goes. But thanks again, and I'll talk at you all later.